Unit. So Ken, as you know, NBC News has yet to independently confirm these reports. So let's start with what we don't know. What don't we know here about the details?
Well, Alex, as you said, we haven't confirmed that there has been an indictment, and so we don't know that one's going to be unsealed on Monday. But what we certainly know is who the potential targets are. We know who Mueller's grand jury has been taking testimony from, and it's been a wide-ranging cast of characters. Everybody from the Russian-American lobbyist who attended that infamous 2016 Trump Tower meeting to Paul Manafort's Virginia realtor. But really, when you look at the landscape of this investigation, it begins with Paul Manafort and Mike Flynn. Paul Manafort, who was briefly Donald Trump's campaign manager before he was fired, has been paid as much as $60 million, according to some reports, by a Russian-backed Ukrainian oligarch. He's been engaged in some questionable real estate transactions. He had to retroactively register as a foreign lobbyist. His home was searched by Mueller's agents. Every legal expert we talked to believes that he has some exposure. Mike Flynn, former national security advisor, on the hook for not telling the truth, according to the Attorney General, about his conversations with the Russian ambassador. Also had to retroactively register as a foreign lobbyist for the government of Turkey. Also believed to have some criminal exposure. But, there's also the possibility if someone is charged, it's an ancillary figure, some tangential person we haven't even heard of, as a way for Mueller to send a message to the main defendants in the case. This is what happens. This is what putting handcuffs on somebody looks like.
Yeah, okay, and I'm going to throw three other names in there as folks who have spoken with members on Capitol Hill: Carter Page, Jared Kushner, Donald Trump Jr. as well. But as you know, Ken, this all began as an investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 election. What is the range of charges that could be filed based on your reporting around the grand jury hearings?
Well, as you know, Alex, in past special counsel investigations, it's often the case that charges result that aren't related to the main subject of the investigation. For example, when Patrick Fitzgerald investigated who leaked the name of a covert CIA officer, an aide to the Vice President of the United States was charged not with that crime, but with perjury and obstruction of justice. In this case, we believe a range of charges are being examined, everything from money laundering to tax fraud to, failure to fill out security clearance forms properly, to lying to investigators, because there is no crime of colluding with Russia. There is a legal theory, though, that help from Russia to the Trump campaign could be construed as an illegal campaign contribution, but that's never been tested in court, Alex.
Okay, so Ken, as you said, the report says the indictment is sealed at least until Monday, when the target could be taken into custody. But to you, does that indicate a potential flight risk?
Actually, legal experts are telling me that's standard. It's very common that indictments are sealed, more often than not, actually. And, the cast of characters in this case would tend to be white-collar defendants who would not be deemed a flight risk and probably would only be taken into custody briefly and granted bond, Alex.
Okay, Ken Dilanian, thank you so much from D.C. for us.